You gotta look yourself in the mirror. Hey, you didn't hit your goal, but you're still on the right path. So, and life happens. Like
You're on the right path. Don't get off of it now.
right.
It's so easy. It's just like working out. You miss one day. You're still on your path. Don't get off of it now. What's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to yet another episode of the Roughnecks Podcast. Before we dive into today's Hold My Beer episode, I want to tell you guys how you can support the Roughnecks Podcast. If you head over to roughneckspodcast.com and click on the merch tab on the top right, you will find some awesome merch. We have everything you need over there, t-shirts in multiple designs and colors, long sleeves, sweatshirts, and even a crew neck that will only be up for a limited time, so be sure to grab yourself a crew neck ASAP if that's what you want. There are multiple designs of hats and even a couple coffee cups. Head over to roughneckspodcast.com. Use the promo code HOLDMYBEER for $5 off your order. We appreciate the support, but let's start drinking. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Roughnecks Podcast. We are back with episode 166, which means it is Hold My Beer number 9. And of course, we have none other than D Fair here with me. What's up, Dante?
Yo.
Back on here. Nah, we got some more stuff, sticking with this, little more of a controlled episode. Still getting not drunk, but drinking. What are you drinking today? You accidentally brought the mix.
Yeah, I kind of fucked up, man. I got Nooners, of course. I'm still waiting on the sponsor, but I brought some vodka Nooners and tequila Nooners, so it's a deadly mixture there.
You never know. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
They're just in the garage. I grabbed them, and I'm like, well, shit. I didn't know I mixed these ones.
Yeah. 1 second you're drinking vodka, the next you're drinking tequila. I'm not drinking Busch at the moment. I'm drinking what I will reveal later. I do have Busch beside me. I'm still drinking Busch Light, despite we're not even going to get into it. But despite everything, I'm still drinking Busch Light because I will never stop drinking Busch Light. But I'm drinking something that I will reveal later in the drink review. So, but Dante's up to something.
I am.
Not only with the Roughnecks, but you got something else going on too. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So, me and my really good friend Jake. Jake will be on the podcast at some point too, so y'all will hear him. But we started this new show called Sweaty. It's just a video fitness experience. We
Actually, what's funny is Jake's episode is supposed to come out the Monday before, like the same week as this episode.
Hey, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. So y'all will get to hear from Jake. It's just a video fitness experience. We got 3 main segments. We train together. Then we hit the sauna, and then right after the sauna, we hop into some ice baths. It's just check it out. It's on Instagram at The Sweaty Show. You'll see me scream.
Please go watch the video of Don. It's like what, the second or third video on there?
Yeah, we've been posting reels, but yeah, it's one of the, you'll see the picture. It's me literally screaming.
Go look at him getting in the ice bath, because that has been Dante since he was the first time he ever took an ice bath. It's never changed.
I swear, my body just does not like the cold. I mean, like, I've lived
most
in Ohio.
people don't.
Yeah, true. I mean, I've lived in Ohio my whole life, snow and all that, but no, ice baths are just different. Brutal.
Oh, they are brutal. I mean, it wasn't till college that I really got good at them, I think. Because, in high school, it used to take me a minute. I'd be like, all right, come on. In college, I was like, all right, just get the fuck in and get it done. And ours, were the whirlpool ones. I don't know if you,
okay.
Dude, the water never stopped moving.
That makes it the coldest.
We didn't ever have to throw ice in it because it was already cold. And then, we did sometimes, but then they'd yell at us and say, don't put ice in it because you guys are doing it too cold. And we're like, we're fine. We're like, 20 minutes, get the fuck, or 10 minutes, get the fuck out. Like,
no, college is when I stopped taking ice baths. It was after a hot practice. Literally sat down in it and started like hyperventilating. I was like, all right, I'm fucking done with this.
I had to do them at least on my foot. That was all constant. When I fucked up my ankle my sophomore year, of course, like it was during camp, I was fighting for a starting spot. I was kind of going back and forth between ones and twos, and fucking one day at practice, I was running down on kickoff and went to plant, and my ankle was just like, nope, and just rolled. And it was one of those that I was like, it like swelled up real bad. And so then like for the next like 3 days, because we had a scrimmage in like 4 days, every night, the one time, or it was the Friday night. I remember it was the Friday night before our scrimmage was on Saturday against Capital.
Almost spit out my hind
against Capital, and I literally, so we host the Delaware Hayes. What's the other high school right there? There's another high school, I forget who it is. I think it starts with a B for some reason, but I could be wrong.
Shit,
I can't remember who the fuck it is, but there's another high school right there, like in Delaware, and we host like their game, like their crazy rivalry game. I guess it's like to start the year too.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that like ODU's or
Ohio Wesleyan? Yeah, we hold it in our stadium, and like we were a lot of us came down and like worked it and did some stuff. And I like went up to my position coach and was like, "Hey, can you sneak me in the training room?" He's like, "Don't tell anybody I put you in here," and because like you're not supposed to go in the training room without permission and like or without somebody in there. And I went in there and literally just sat there and I put it in for 10 minutes and then sit it out for 10 minutes. Like the entire football game, I just kept doing that because I was like, I have to play on Saturday. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. But yeah, it is what it is. But you got sweaty. Yeah. I got a volleyball tournament.
Shit, yeah. Tell us about that. What's going on with that?
It's I mean, it's not all said and done. Like it is, the date is more than likely not going to change. It is dead set. The date is July 15th, and it'll be at Newark Station. It'll be a 6-person team as of now, 6-person team volleyball tournament. We're holding up to 16 teams at the moment, is I think where we'll cut it off at. But you're be more than like I said, some of these details are still out to change, but 16 teams, guaranteed 3 games.
Okay.
3 matches.
Like pool play?
So like you'll play, I think 2 that'll be kind of like pool play, and then it starts tournament. Okay. So you'll get at least 1 more. And then if you keep winning, like obviously you can.
And that's beach volleyball, right?
Sand volleyball.
Okay, yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I play in leagues there. I played last year in the summer league and in the fall league, and in the fall league I played in the beer league, what we call it, and then also another day in the fall on the competitive league.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Any league that I gotta play in now, it has to be a beer league. That's the only.
See, like I was like thinking, I thought I'd be the same way, and then I started playing there. Then we did the beer league in the summer, and I like would play a few extra because like you either play at 6 and 7 or 8 and 9, and like me and Sierra were on different teams last year for the summer league. And so she would play sometimes at 8 and 9, and I play at 6 and 7. So I'd just be there from 6 to 9. Damn. Or 6 to 10, really, because you're 9 to 10's the game.
Right.
So like I'd be there, and I just sit there and drink while they played. But like then sometimes like teams would be like, "Hey, we need a sub. Like we only have 5 people. You want to play with us?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah!" I mean, don't expect me to be good. But then like I just kept playing more and more, and the guy that runs the place, he has a Thursday team, and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, you want to play on Thursdays too in the fall league?" And I was like, "Okay." Dude, I played on Thursdays, and I was like, "I love this. People are hitting it hard, and like it's actually going back and forth, not like shit. I served in that into the net again." Right, so like you actually get to. It'd be like if we played football and every pass was incomplete and every run was like 2 yards.
Okay, yeah.
Like that's what beer league is like sometimes, but then in like the competitive league is like where you have a game that like they're scoring a touchdown, then they score a touchdown, they get an interception, no, they get the ball back, like it's just back and forth.
I mean, yeah, we're competitors, so any competition is going to be fun type shit. You don't want everything to be easy, you know?
I could have never started in the competitive league, though. I'd have been fucked. But yeah, June 15th, it'll be a volleyball tournament. Start getting your teams of 6 together. You'll hopefully, I don't know if I want to speak too much on it because I don't have all the details. I'll say this. I know everybody's going to get a t-shirt. If you sign up, you'll be getting a t-shirt when you show up. And it'll just be there'll be prizes obviously for the first, second, and third place teams, and it's just going to be a good time. But yeah, that July 15th, get your team together, 6 people, not that bad. Oh, you have to have 2 women or 2 males on your team. Like if you're a team of 4 girls, you have to have 2 guys. If you're a team of 4 guys, you have to have 2 girls on your team. You have to have it's co-ed and it's required.
It's a requirement.
Yeah.
We're all about we're being inclusive around here, you know. We can't
well, honestly, like if you got a team full of like I don't like people are like, oh, what because it's women and we're no. If you got a team full of women, I'd be scared of to play them.
Yeah, they're just
give me a couple guys that are terrible.
Some type of flavor in there.
Literally on the Thursday leagues and like when we play volleyball, it's not a lot of the guys that I'm scared of because we're all unathletic when it comes to volleyball. It's the girls that I'm like, she's going up to hit it. Yeah. Nope. All right, I'm moving. Or like when she serves, I'm like, shit. Like I'm not even gonna be able to get this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't imagine an elite team full of women. Just like high school.
Scott's gonna have some college volleyball players potentially on his team, buddy.
Oh shit, Scott's going for gold. That's all Scott does is go for gold.
So he's playing with us on Wednesdays. He's like kind of taking yours, and him and Hannah are taking like your and Liv's spot that you guys were gonna have. And he was like, I don't know how good I'm gonna be, and I was like, buddy, Alex is playing. He's like, oh god, and I was like, actually, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Alex, you might be better. I don't know. We'll see. But you know, it's just like, and he was like, but he was talking about the. How he's like, I'm not gonna be very good, and I was like, dude, it's not like that big of a deal. It doesn't matter. And like with girls, a lot of times too, they struggle. I see a lot of them sometimes struggle because they're men's nets and you're in sand because they're not all of them are used to jumping in sand compared to jumping on like a basketball court.
Right.
So it's a little bit different for them.
No, that'll be a good time. I'm excited for you for sure.
It's gonna be crazy. I got a band, live music too. That's the other thing. Live music. There will be a band playing. I won't announce who that is yet because that's not.
That won't be like the first Roughnecks event because you've had the golf outings, right?
I haven't done a golf outing.
Oh, you haven't yet?
This will be like literally the first public event.
Dude, that is dope. Let's go.
Yeah, that'll be. I mean, yeah, because I mean the goal is hopefully to get the golf outing. Probably not this year, but next year.
I mean, golf is, I feel like, because you'd have to rent out a whole course or you just have to host an event there.
It's, I don't know, because I've talked to some people, like I've talked to the Wesleyan coaches about their golf outing, like got some details and stuff. Like I asked a lot of questions, and then I've asked a few people that I know that have held them about like, you know, what it takes. And it's a lot of work. And like, he told me, one of the guys that I asked him at the golf outing I was at last year, I asked him, I was like, you know, like how much like does it cost to rent this place out? And I forget what he told me like the price was, but he's like, I'm gonna sign up for next year today. He's like, not that it disappears that quick, but just so I have it and that part's already done, and then I can just start preparing now. And I was like, preparing now? He's like, oh yeah, you got to start finding sponsors. You got to start finding people to donate for the gifts and like all the silent auctions or, you know, raffles and all this stuff. And I'm like,
yeah, true. It's not like you can just show up and like, hey, this little golf outing sponsored by Roughnecks, and then not have any type of like you got to have some events and.
And I'm not even gonna get to play at the volleyball tournament.
You're not playing?
I'm not. It's because I feel like if I play, I'm gonna be constantly having to leave and go do something or interact and do something, and then that allows me to the people that aren't there necessarily to play volleyball or they just finished like they lost in the tournament. I can interact a lot more with people, and then people who don't know who the Roughnecks are that like a friend asked them to play in a tournament, I can like social
networking.
I can network and social interact with people. So that's my plan is with that. Serious plan, but I'm
super
not.
smart.
But
Newark Station's coming up too. That place is fire.
Yeah, they're I know they've done a lot of work. The front building got tore down. They're gonna have the coffee bar and lounge. I don't know if that's the exact name of it, but it's like a coffee bar in the morning and a bar at night.
That rooftop thing?
The rooftop, I don't know if that's gonna be this year or next year.
Okay.
But this is the downstairs one. And then I think they're working on but like I know the coffee bar is coming first. Then the apartments, I believe, which are in that same building. I mean, where they tore that building down by the front, that's I think going to be a park. Like they're completely changing that whole landscape.
I mean, it's so dope. Like it's such a cool idea, and just to start it off with like what they've started off with is just kind of like a hangout area.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah. Like, and eventually, like I'm assuming, like the chain link fence is going to be tore down around it, so it's a little more like
welcoming.
Yeah, like we're in Newark, but here's this area you guys can come to feel good. But I mean, the landscape of Newark, I feel like, has changed a lot.
I mean, it's
from
growing.
when we were younger, especially. I feel like when we were younger, like Newark was like complete trash.
Yeah, we were just like, Newark, what the
fuck? But like now, like even downtown, like you go downtown and it's like, this isn't. Me and Sierra go to coffee shops down there and on the weekends, and we'll sit there and just I'll work on the podcast, and she'll work on whatever the hell she does. I know it's the thing she does, but like we'll just sit there and work on things for a few hours, and I'm like, this is actually nice. Like people, like Newark, I think when growing up, it got a bad rep from us, like our minds or whatever. But in reality, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I've never actually like ventured over downtown Newark and like hung out over there, but I'll definitely have to. No, I didn't even know there were coffee shops down there.
River Road.
Oh,
that's a good one.
River Road sounds
literally right across from the courthouse. I mean, I know there's 4 sides, but the one side, that one side on that, facing that way. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm sure I'll find it.
It's on the square of Newark.
So Apple Maps is pretty intuitive. Just type in River Road.
Well, there's the one in Newark, the other Newark too, like off 21st, I think.
I've seen that one. I know where that one is. I think for sure.
But yeah, me and Sierra like going to coffee shops. It's nice.
I feel like coffee shop vibes are just like, I mean, I know a lot of my friends at Worcester used to like go to like coffee shops in town and like do like study and shit. I mean, I was more of a, hey, I'm just gonna grind in my room type person.
That was me. I started going to the library, but because I couldn't focus in my room, and so I started going to the library and stuff when I needed to like really actually work on shit.
Dude, I feel like when I went to the library, it was a lot more fucking around than it was like, because just all like.
But I went and sat by myself in like a back corner of the library where no one even knew I was there. Like there was one time I was walking out when they were closing, and she was like, "Where'd you come from?" And I was like, "I was in the back corner." And she's like, "What back corner?" I was like, "On the other side of all those books, there's like a desk in the corner."
Did y'all have?
Like, I didn't know people actually sat there, and I was like, "I do."
Did y'all have a quiet level of your library? Like no talking?
So like first floor was normal. Second floor was first floor was normal. I think we had 3 levels, but it was upstairs or downstairs. I think the second floor was dead silent.
Okay.
And then like the basement was also whatever.
Yeah, dude. The basement at Worcester's library was like the silent zone, and we would go down there and still bullshit, bro. But like, they actually had people like if you would like talk in a full voice, like I mean, I understand like. It was just us being jackasses down there, But
I was always afraid to go up to like the quiet level because I was like, if I go up there and like I turn my music up too loud, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, this guy's a fucking jack." Like, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm just trying to zone out, all right?
I'm doing work just like you."
Because I always like jammed like music so loud when I was doing on homework and shit because like I feel like it helped,
like a rhythm,
take me out of the space, but also focus me in a way. But man, what are we going to talk about today?
Shit, I mean, there's tons and tons of things on the radar.
Tell me about goal setting and what it means to you. Like, what are appropriate goals in your opinion? Like, especially at this age.
I feel like goals at this age, like, I don't know, I'm a lot into the manifesting things and like speaking things into existence, but like goals wise, I feel like you need to have goals that like building block goals. So like, hey, goals that are not easily attainable, but goals that allow you to at least see progress. Like, okay, I can check this off. And then you also have to have a goal that's like, holy shit, how are you going to do that? So it's like those big goals of like, okay, hey, I want to make $3 million, or I want to make $5 million if that's one of your goals. But you definitely have to have building block goals. So for me, I feel like I like to take my goals at like one day at a time, but I don't speak about my goals a lot, but you have to have that goal of just that goal that you're always reaching for. Because if you make your goals too easy to achieve, then I don't know, you gotta really put in the work to hit goals. That's what I think, at least.
All right, so I got a couple things off that. And the one thing, like, I think it's good to have goals you can easily achieve, but those are like maybe your daily goals,
Right.
like some simple daily goals. I think you should have other ones too. Like, I think you should have almost like an easy, medium, and hard goal,
Right.
like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it doesn't have to be anything fucking crazy. Like, maybe your hard goal is like, I want to read 50 pages tonight. Like, that's your hard goal. Like, it's nothing crazy, and it's not going to make or break you if you don't do it. Now, try to succeed. But I think those easy goals, especially like one thing that I think of is like a easy goal is first thing you do in the morning is make your bed. Okay. That's an easy goal that you can achieve. But I mean, you've heard the make your bed story, haven't you? With the Navy guy that was talking at the. Have you ever heard that?
I think.
Oh, we got to listen to it. I'll cut it out of the episode, but I gotta show you it.
Okay. I need to start making my bed. That's
if you haven't heard the speech, go look up "Make My Bed." It's William McRaven, I think is his name, or something like that. It's a University of Texas commencement speech. But dude, he goes on to talk about a bunch of other stuff too. And like one of the things is like where they were talking about when you're having a bad time, sing songs of joy or something. That's what he was saying, because he's like, they were in the mud and like in the ocean, like when they're holding, like, or they have to sit in this mud and like the ocean's hitting them and it's just cold. And they're like, eventually one song breaks out or somebody starts singing, and they say, like, if you keep singing, you will be sitting here for extra time. Well, then another person starts singing, and another person, like, and he said, before long, everybody's singing. We all feel warmer, just because like you're happy. Like, it's true. Like when you're happier, like, yeah, I don't know, you just kind of get like all like sweaty almost.
Yeah. Damn.
But that's like the stuff he talks about is really good. But yeah, making your bed, that's what I was kind of like talking about, the simple task. It can like, and one of the things he said is like, it'll lead you to wanting to do another task and then another. Like when you achieve a goal, a lot of us are going, I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Like I want to feel this again.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I meant with like the small, like achievable goals. It's just something to like, because nobody wants to just work and feel like you're not getting anywhere. So you definitely want to feel like, okay, you can give yourself a pat on the back. You completed this, or like kind of like you said, reading 50 pages in one day. Like, I don't read a lot, but I've started to read more now, just trying to get better at it. And like reading a chapter a day, like it makes me so happy to the point where like, hey man, even if it's only 15 pages, like, dude, you read a chapter. That's better than you did yesterday or like the previous month, you know?
Yeah, like one of the things I started doing with reading, like my big thing was like, yeah, a chapter a day was my goal. But like, you know, sometimes you have 30, 40 page chapters. And I'm like, damn. So like I was like, you have to read at least 10 pages a day. Or if I'm reading and I start getting tired and I'm like, all right, well, if I read 2 more pages, then I'm in my 10 pages. That's my minimum goal.
10 pages a day?
10 pages? Okay. Because if you think about that, how hard is it to read 10 pages?
I mean, not hard at all. I read slow as shit, though.
I do too. Sierra gives me shit because she's like, you didn't read very much. And I'm like, I know, I didn't read. Like, she'll read like 50 pages in the amount that I read 10.
Dude, that's how Liv is. She'll fucking like, she'll show me something on Instagram and like,
you're halfway through it.
Yeah, like, she'll pull it away. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm not done.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I don't know why I breathe so slow. And it's probably just because I don't do it a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, I think I've gotten faster, but I also like, are you the same way I am where like you read something, but then you have to like kind of go back a couple sentences and reread it?
I like zone out sometimes when I'm
Yes.
reading, and I'm like, okay, I know I glazed my eyes over this, but I didn't
I
digest
spoke the
anything.
word in my head, but I have no clue what any of the meaning was.
Right.
Yeah, I do that all the time. But I think, and so I wanted to bring up this. I wanted to ask what you thought about this. Jesse, one of Scott's buddies that I've had on the podcast, he talked about when you set a goal, make it more than what you obviously like want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like more, like if you say I want to get 100% on a test, say you want to get 110% on a test, whatever. But he said because then even if you accomplish 80% of it, like it should be more than, I don't know. Even if you accomplish 80% of it, then you will have completed your goal that you are okay with, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that can be related to the gym kind of too, where you say like, hey, I'm about to get 10 reps, but you push for 12. Or
Yeah.
like, or hey, I'm going to get 12 reps, but if you get 10, it's okay.
Yeah. See, I struggle with the part of it because I'm like, me personally, like, if I don't achieve my goal, even if I get close, I'm like, fucking pass. Like,
Right.
I wanted that. And like, yeah, eventually I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. But like in the moment, right away, I'm like, I should have got, or like, you know, how many times like are we lifting where you'll do 10, which is what you wanted to do, but you know, maybe I did 12, so you're like, oh, I'll do 12.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I don't get 12, but you're like, man, I could have got 12. Like I should have got 12.
Right.
I had it in me. And but like I just gave up early. Like you just start to question, and I feel like that can kind of hurt you and help you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely, I definitely feel or understand what he means by that. And I think you definitely have to think about that when creating goals, because I mean, it's just kind of like just what you were just saying, to where, hey, if you get 10 easily, then you're going to double think and be like, oh shit, I should have got 15.
Mm-hmm.
But if you set your goal to 15 and only get 10, you're like, I mean, I gave it all I got, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, maybe it wasn't what I set my goal to, but I mean, I did
Then
it
it
till
almost
failure.
gives you. I like that. I really like it now that you're saying this. I really like that mindset in the gym.
Yeah.
Because then you know what, it has something next week that you or next time you're lifting to look forward to.
It's like humbling in a sense, like, oh shit, I didn't get 15. Next week I'm getting 15.
And it's almost like gives you a little more discipline and consistency of like, I have to go to the gym because now I have to do this. Like I know I can do it, so now I have to. So
I mean, that is a big thing with the gym.
I feel like that's a really good thing for the gym. Is a great scenario to put that in.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, like, I think that's honestly, like, I have been working out consistently for a while now, but like getting back into the gym and just like sometimes the night before, like say chest day, I'm like, shit, tomorrow, like, hey, tomorrow I'm hitting 70s on dumbbell bench.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I hit it, I'm like, holy shit, let's go. Because I mean, I hit that literally this past Wednesday, but I think that's the most I've ever hit on dumbbell bench. Even like
wait.
Yeah, no, it's not a lot.
I couldn't do
but
70s right now, so
it's definitely not a lot, but I hit him for 5, and it was like, holy shit, dude! Like, yeah, I'm just seeing progress. You know, it's just always it's very satisfying.
It was hard. So like I've been out of the gym once again, struggling to find the gym. But like the other day, like obviously I wore weight racks at the shop, and I was sitting there and like the 45s were on the bar, so I was like, oh, I'll hit it. I was like, I'll just do some reps, and I was just fucking around and hitting it. And my boss came over and did it. I was like, threw another plate on. And so I did 225 for a couple reps, and then
Damn, you can still bench 225?
oh wait, just wait. I haven't. This was after I hadn't lifted in like probably 3-4 weeks off since I got back into it for a while and then quit again. So I hit 225, then I went to 35, Then I went 245.
Damn.
Then I went 255, and my boss was like, "All right, you're done. Like, no more." But he was like, I can't believe you can still do, because like I can hit 250 on bench, and I have no clue how.
That's crazy. I really don't.
I'm not trying to like bloat my
No, that's
but I'm
dope.
just like, I hit it and was like, he was one of those that like I was expecting to be like stop at like 225, 235 maybe, and it was like one of like the 80%. Like I got my 80% of what. That's the other thing too, is maybe what you think your 80% is, like what you think is your goal. That's why you almost have to set it higher, because you don't realize what more you can give.
Yeah, your mind definitely plays tricks on you, and that's something that I wish.
Especially in the weight room.
Yeah, no, I wish I would have like focused on that more, like maybe like high school and college wise, of instead of focusing on, hey, so and so's hitting this and I'm not hitting that, but more or less just being confident in my ability to hit shit, because your mind plays a lot of in it. If you do not think that you're gonna hit 225 for one, you're not gonna fucking hit 225 for one. You know, it's all mind there.
I always tell people that I've worked out with and stuff, and they're like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to get this, and or I need a spot. And I always used to, sometimes, I think me and you used to do it to each other. We're like, you're good.
Yeah, you used to do that shit
We'd
to me
always
all
be
the
like,
time.
we'd always be like, I'm gonna help him, because like in case he does that, like I'm gonna be here close enough that if he does need help, I got him. But then also that in their mind, they're like, fuck, he's not gonna help me, so like
Right.
I have to get this rep up.
That was you every leg day with me. You're like,
Just
I'm
get
like,
up, bitch.
Hey, I
Stand
need a
up.
spot. You're like, no, you don't. I'm like, oh,
Stand
all
up.
right.
Stand up.
It's
Just
all
up and
about,
down.
yeah, just straighten your legs. Just straighten your legs. Like, dude, fuck off, all right? I'm struggling over here, about to shit myself trying to squat.
How do you feel, like what do you think is the best way? Well, all right, I got another question, actually, going back to the goals before I go to this question. With the what are time limits on type of goals? Like, I think I look at I wrote down my goals this year, and I wrote down like, I like obviously have my daily goals. Like I don't write those down as much because I have them in my head. I journal them sometimes, but I wrote down like my short term, long term, and or short term, medium term, and long term goal. And I put short term as in the next year,
Mm-hmm.
long, medium, 3 to 5, long, 10.
Okay. No, that's.
Do you think that is a good thing, or
I think that's a good thing. I'm not huge on, like, I'm not really good at making 5 to 10 year goals, just because I'm more of a everything happens for a reason type of person. And I think if you do make 5 to 10 year goals, they have to be very open ended, because
they're
life,
very subject to change?
yeah,
Like it's not like things could change within them depending on life, essentially.
right, because life happens and you can take a lot of different pathways and still hit your goal. But goals for me is like, or goals for me, I would just say I like making definitely the year goals of like, hey, where do I want to be next year
Mm-hmm.
on this day? Or the bigger goals of 5 to 10 year goals. It's more about success and just making sure I'm doing the right things day to day to hit that 10 or that 5 year goal, because again, they can change. So I always like to keep those super open ended if I do even make them, just because I don't know. Like I said, I'm more of a everything happens for a reason type of person. So I think as long as you stay on the right path, success is gonna everything's gonna fall into place.
So, like with my medium to short term goals, that was more business oriented,
Mm.
of like, this is where I want to be at the job that I have currently. Like, and it kind of almost is one of those, like, because I go back and read my like previous year journal entries if I had one on that day, like, because I don't journal every day, but like I'll go back and read it just because it's like sometimes you look back like, where was my head a year ago,
Yeah.
and like how like I've now started in my journal entries when I journal, because I journal just about whatever the hell I'm thinking about at that moment, or what's going on, what's bothering me, and that kind of shit. And one of the things I do is I ask myself a question
Oh, that's
about
dope.
it. So like one of them, like I'm pretty sure in there it's like I read one recently that was because it's been just over a year that me and Sierra have been together, and it said, "Are you still with Sierra?" And like, because it's just like one of those things that you look at, like, where was my head at that, and like I ask myself questions in every entry now because it's for the next year me.
No, journaling is cool. That's something that I haven't really
It's weird
dove
to
into
start
yet,
doing,
but
and I don't do it every day. I think that's one thing. Like, you don't have to do it every day, but it's nice to, especially like sometimes when you are super excited about something, to write it down, because then we go back the next year, like I said, and read it. Or when you're pissed off, instead of you're in a fight with your girlfriend, instead of blowing up on her, go write it down and get like Sierra knows, like, Sierra knows, like, don't don't read any of this, because like the things I write aren't always like, they're just sometimes me just venting and just
yeah.
saying things. And I was like, sometimes it's better for me to just put it on paper than me say things to you that I don't mean.
Right, yeah, no, definitely like journaling that I feel like especially if you're the type of person that doesn't talk to people a lot or talk about your problems, I feel like writing them down on a piece of paper, just journaling in general, even if you do it in your phone notes,
Mm-hmm.
it lets you kind of get it off your chest, and then you can reflect on that at a later date. I'm like, hey, was I in the right mindset? Let me sleep on this before I actually like express this opinion to someone.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing with journaling, and I don't think it's a bad idea. For like, it's very, even Nick Lavery, the guy that I had on with the one leg,
Hmm.
he journals, and he was like, it helps me a lot because it keeps me on track a little bit, and it, like, I can look back and at things.
No, yeah, journaling is definitely very interesting. I think I should probably start. I used to journal in a sense with just like songwriting. That
Yeah,
was like my
yeah.
big exit, but or like my big escape from or just like venting. But I haven't really been writing music a lot. I've just been kind of everywhere, just I just got a promotion at work
No
too.
shit. Good for
Yeah,
you, buddy.
appreciate you.
Proud of that.
Just grind and work and stuff, but journaling is definitely something I kind of want to I need to get the reading down first. Once I start
That's
reading
fair. That's fair.
once I start reading consistently, then I could like start dabbling
What have
into
you started
journaling.
reading?
So I read Jake actually gave me a super cool book. It was just Corey G's book.
Oh
His
yeah, I
Yep,
wanted to read that.
yep, I read that. It was a super quick read. It was just like it's really like opened my mind of
Remind
like
me after the episode. I'll take you upstairs. I got a bunch that I've already read that I
okay,
can
bet.
give to you.
But yeah, I read that, and then I just got a new book. It's I got the David Goggins book, Can't Hurt Me.
Yep.
I got that one, and then it's another one. I think it's Norman Vincent. So it's The Power of Positive Thinking.
I've heard of that one. Yes.
I saw an Instagram reel of Steve Harvey saying he was like
Yes.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
these are the
Yeah.
books I would recommend, like, and it was like the first one he recommended, so I was like, hey, I got on Amazon, ordered that shit, and I started reading it. It's super nice. It dabbles into a religion a lot, which I'm not too deep into religion, but that's something that I would like to like just
Explore.
yeah,
I feel like
explore
explore is
and
the word for both me and you in that
right.
sense, because it's like we're not super religious people, but like it doesn't matter what religion. I feel like me and you are both like open to like, tell me about it.
Yeah, because
I want to hear
I
about
mean,
it.
religion to me is more of metaphors and like life lessons. So like you can apply any type of scripture to your everyday life, and it can make it better.
Yeah. Ah,
A little yawn in action.
I wasn't me. um, yeah, cause I mean, I've read a handful of books now. I mean, probably my goal is to read 20 this year. So
You keep a list.
yeah, so actually there's an app that I use.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool app. Sierra told me about it, and it's called Goodreads for people listening. It's free, and you make your library on your phone, where like you'll take your phone and scan the outside of the book, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll add it into like a shelf of like
Oh.
books you have, and then you can find other books on there too and get like recommendations. But that I use, and then like the current book, you can set a goal at the beginning of the year of like, I want to read this many books, and it'll tell you, like, you'll click on it and it'll be like, you're one book ahead of schedule, you're on
Oh
schedule,
shit.
you're one book behind schedule, like you need to read more. and it doesn't tell you like you need to read X amount of pages because it doesn't know what books you're going to read. But I use it, and then also like when you're reading a book, you can put in like every night, every time I'm done reading, I put in what page number I'm finished on, and it'll be like you're 57% done with the book.
Oh wow!
Which that's kind of cool because it makes you feel a little better. Like when you reach that 50% point, you're like, hell yeah, I'm halfway
I'm gonna
done.
have to get that app. Are you a big like audiobook person? Or you like actually reading?
So I haven't tried audiobooks.
I haven't yet either.
But the reason I haven't tried audiobooks is because I listen to so many damn podcasts that would just, I feel like, eat into that time.
Yeah, true.
And like I have in my queue, I'm a crazy person that like the like 8 podcasts that I listen to every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, like when I get like 15, 20 minutes in and I'm bored, it gets skipped and I go to the next one. But because I give it 15, 20 minutes because I know sometimes like at the beginning, especially if it's an interview based one, it can get like it might take some people a time to open up.
You got to break the ice.
Yeah, so I let it go a little bit, but if after that like I'm still bored and I'm not interested in the subject, I'm like I'm done. I'll go to the next one. But I have 100 episodes in my queue.
Holy shit! Yeah.
And I deleted them because at one point I had like 400 because I was like, I'm never going to get through this list. I was like, I'm just going to scratch this. I want to listen to this one. I want to listen to this one. And I'll just start adding these ones to the queue.
No, yeah, I didn't like you queue them on like Apple Podcasts.
I use Apple, yeah, and I just hit play later or play last. Yeah. Yeah,
honestly, the only podcasts I really listen to are this podcast here, Roughnecks Podcast, some slight. And then when I'm like bored at work, I'll listen to Crime Junkie. I'm a big true crime nerd. I love true crime.
You don't listen to Two Bears?
Oh no, I watch that on YouTube, but yeah, that counts. Yeah, definitely watch that one. That shit's so funny. Or Theo Vaughn's. I listen to Theo.
Yeah, I like his too. So I have the Be Bolder, which is Lindsay Kara Stencils that has been on here. Obviously, I do listen to my own podcast. Sorry for anybody that does not like that, but when I'm listening to it, I'm not listening to it for the content because at that point I've already heard it twice of recording it and editing it. When I listen to it, I'm listening to myself trying to improve my skills.
Hey, that's smart though. Self-reflection,
Because I noticed the other day I say like too many freaking times because I'm like I'm still doing it right now and I've been thinking about it the entire time we've been recording. But like, God, I did it again. I counted. I'm like trying so hard not to say how many times I said like and like in about like fuck. See what I mean? I'm not even trying to do it. It's just like God, it came so natural. I started replacing the with like any breaks of I'd be like and I was like God, I was like, I say it so many times, so I've been trying to work on that. But like, I'm just not even going to pay attention to it anymore. I wouldn't even realize it if I didn't listen to it.
Right.
Again.
That's not the worst filler word either, though.
It's better than,
right. But damn, yeah, I never even I just said like too. Damn, now this whole episode, every time I say like, it's going to be brutal.
It's better than when you said push, you were on the first Hold My Beer that you did with Scott. But yeah, here's my cue.
Holy shit. That's some hours right there.
Those aren't not the bottomless, but yeah. Well, a couple of those episodes or podcasts might actually get deleted because like there's some new ones. I struggle with like Jordan Peterson's because he's so smart and I'm not. He says things and sometimes I have to hear it twice. I can't listen to Jordan Peterson's if I'm like trying to do something else. I can really only be like sitting down or driving to listen to his.
Makes sense.
I have his book too, which I plan to read. The 12 Rules for Life. My brother's read it and said it's amazing.
Okay. I think reading for me, it's like I really want to get back into it because there's a lot of valuable things that are just out there in writing that you can really, really hone in on and like just learn from. Because for the longest time I was like, I'm not fucking reading. There's no like what the hell do I need to like? Oh shit, I even in college, I hardly ever, we'd get books for class and I hardly ever read those fucking things, dude.
The funny thing is I started reading my senior year. I read my personal books more than I read my class books.
Yeah.
Like the books that I really should have been reading. Nah, I didn't give a fuck about
Straight
those.
summaries and spark notes. Like, you need to write a paper. Let me just look it
But the
up.
funny thing is now I have a Hitler book because I took a Nazi Germany class in my senior year. I have like 3 Hitler books that I've read page like front to back.
Oh, damn.
Because I thought like Hitler's interesting and just all the
It's an
World
interesting
War
topic.
II was like not just like everything up, but just World War II in general and
Mhm.
everything that happened. It was just like, I mean, the fact that people loved Hitler when he was first,
Yeah.
like loved him.
Well,
He was
I mean, how do you think he got that
amazing.
much power? You
Yeah.
know?
And then he turned weird and crazy and did some things, but
He did some bullshit. That's what the fuck he did.
yeah. And like he was also like I don't. There was signs too that I don't think people realized.
I mean, even with like serial killers and shit, there's always
This is
like,
true.
you
Like,
know,
there's a reason
There's
that
always red flags, but people just don't always pick them up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, a little Timmy, you killed a cat yesterday. Oh, he's fine. He's grown. Like, oh no, that's a fucking red flag.
No, that's the 3rd cat this week.
Right.
I've read those cover to cover, and then I have freaking mythology books. I hated mythology in high school. Fucking hated it.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell you took that, dude.
I read the Iliad and the Odyssey cover to cover and plan to read them again this year.
I mean, I like mythology, like the idea behind it, and like all Greek gods and all that shit. That shit's so cool to me. But the class, like, it was with Mrs. Bustler too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, I can't admit, fuck that. Like, she's a great teacher, but no, I already had her for like
Dude, I had her for like
English,
3 classes in high school, and I could not tell you how many times I heard, I remember when your sister came in and said that your mom was pregnant with you. And I was like, congratulations, you're still at Watkins. How's that make you feel?
No, yeah, for you it's definitely different because your whole
My
fam,
sister is 16 years older than me. She was 16 at the time.
damn, yeah, the whole Nixon legacy rolled through Watkins. At least it was a fresh start for me, so she wasn't coming up to me like that.
There was only one teacher that ever had all 4 of us. Mr. Sayers. World history teacher. He was the only person to actually have all 4 of us. Because he was like, I've actually, because he was like, I'm pretty sure my first year I had your oldest sister. He's like, and then I had Christina, and I had Clayton, and now I've had you. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you're the only teacher that's ever had all 4 of us.
That's crazy. The whole family
Buster
tree.
only had 3 of us. Bella only had 3 of us. Like, so like certain teachers were still there. There's a lot of teachers that have been there for fucking ever, but only one has had all 4 of us.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And Mr. Sagers wasn't that old, so he must have.
Probably like early teaching.
Yeah. Or maybe he was a student teacher when he had my sister.
True.
But, now, failing at a goal, something I struggle with immensely. If when you set that goal, like we talked about a little bit on the last episode, when you set that goal, you don't get there. Ways to handle that, in your opinion?
I feel like there's like 2 main ways to handle that, and that's one saying like the good old like the basic ass, hey, participation trophy, like, hey, you tried.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not always the healthy route. And then the other option would be like, hey, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yeah, you didn't achieve this. But I think the fine line or the best way to handle it is right in the middle. So, hey, you didn't achieve it. I'm not giving you a participation trophy for not actually hitting your goal, but I'm also not totally losing all my confidence for that goal because, hey, I'm going to achieve it tomorrow, or hey, I'm going to achieve it next week. So like, I think it's more or less like, hey, you gotta look yourself in the mirror. Hey, you didn't hit your goal, but you're still on the right path. So, and life happens. Like,
you're on the right path. Don't get off of it now.
Right.
It's so easy. It's just like working out. You miss one day. You're still on your path. Don't get off of it now. I'm guilty of, like, I did it with working out, where you skip the one day and then it's like, whatever.
Right.
At that point, like, you're just like, I failed. Like,
It's like a domino effect. When you miss one day, you're like, well, shit. And then you wake up the next day, you're like, well, fuck. I mean,
yeah, whatever.
Right.
Like, that's how it was. Like, that first day I overslept. That next day, what I do, I overslept. No, but like, you wake up, but then you go back to sleep.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm tired of shit. I
Like, I already missed yesterday. So what's it going to mean if I missed it? But then that's the thing is, you're on. I really like that you said that. You're on the right path. It's easy to fall off of that when you fail, and it's not even a failure. It's just like you slip. You fell down. You didn't fail yet. You just fell down when you're walking that trail. Get back up. Grab the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
And keep walking that path.
If everything in life came easy to you, you wouldn't have anything. You wouldn't feel like you're worth anything, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, the things that we worked our absolute, like, playing football, starting, like, the things we worked our absolute ass off for felt the best.
Yeah.
The things that, like, because, like, honestly, my sophomore year playing, because I worked my ass off to try and get there, like, to try and get on the field, was more rewarding than, like, my senior year almost. Like, just being a starter in a sense. Because, like, at that point, it almost felt like it was a little bit given. Like, and, like, I'll be honest, like, and we have it in our head, like, I'm going to be the starter.
Right.
Like, it's who's going to take it from me? And because, like, I've already been here for 2 years, so no one's going to take my spot. And I think that's a scary thing to do, because you can get real complacent.
Yeah.
And I think I did my senior year of high school 100%. I feel like I could have been better than what I was, despite taking out the injury. But it's just, you're on that path. Don't let those little slip ups take you off of it.
Yeah, and I'm building on that. I feel like that's why my senior year I kind of showed out too, because I never really got the opportunity sophomore or junior year. I was still just straight JV. Like, even though I felt full, I mean, had some studs right ahead of me, you know. I mean, that's unfortunate, but it was fortunate because they were studs. Like, but I don't know, worked my ass off, just never really got the opportunity. And when I did, it kind of like really shined. But it's just working, like.
But that's also, I think, what helped you, because I played 3 years as a starter in high school, went to college, had to wait till my sophomore year to play.
Mm-hmm.
You worked your absolute ass off, because I think what happened to me is I got complacent. You were still in that work your ass off mentality. When you went to college your freshman year, you started as a freshman.
Right.
So there's pros and cons to both, and it's hard when it's what people that realize, like, when you are, you know, maybe you do get the opportunity to play early, or you're just succeeding faster than others. You can't get complacent.
Right.
If you get complacent, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like, there's definitely pros and cons to it. It's just circling back to the topic though. You can't be afraid to fail, because failures, like, that's what makes you grow. That's really what makes you. That what molds you into the person you are. If you never failed, then you're never gonna be able to take a punch to the face and keep running towards that punch, you know?
Dude, this whole podcast is built on a failed podcast. This podcast started because of a failed podcast in a way. I wouldn't have done this again, but I failed. And then I was like, you know what? I know the things I did wrong. That was one of the big things I did wrong, was I focused on sports. I only talked about on sports on my last podcast. So then this one, I was like, I'm not going to have a topic going in. I'm going to let the topic just see what happens. And it's turned into everything. But
that's how you get the audience too, is like, just.
I try to take the Rogan approach.
Yeah.
Where, like, you could, and that's the thing is I don't have a specific audience.
Mm-hmm.
I can get a wide range of audience. So, like, failure though, people fear it so goddamn much. We're afraid to let ourselves down. We're afraid to let our significant other down. We're afraid to let our parents down. Whatever it is, people aren't going to be afraid of you if they are, you know, upset with you if they see that you put in everything that you had, and even if you did fail, you didn't fail, you learned.
I think the whole like, hey, you're not allowed to fail mentality comes a lot from like you're just growing up or just like growing maybe in our day and age or even our parents.
You want to know what I think it comes from? I think it comes from the school system.
Or yeah, that's where I was. That's where I was kind of getting with it too. It's like you either pass or you fail. There's no, hey, like I know you're really trying your hardest, but like there's none of that. There's either, hey, you get a good grade or a bad grade, and that's really starts to like reciprocate or like overflow to your daily life where, hey, I either achieved what I wanted to achieve for today or I didn't. If I didn't, I'm a failure, and that's not how it should be.
Or like if you didn't show your work on a math problem, but you got the right answer, you didn't get it wrong.
Right.
And it's like, what? That was what drove me nuts in calculus. Where like I'd go through the work and yeah, I'd miss a little step here or there, or I'd like wouldn't write it down, but I get the right answer, and it's like you didn't show all your work, so you didn't get you fail the whole question.
Right.
And it's like, no, like that. I think that kind of stuff is like, and also like we don't have to like. Maybe that's why people show everything on social media because I was always told I had to show my work.
Yeah.
Like you're not in the gym. Like I'm not saying anything like sweaty or anything because you guys are doing something different with the positive vibes and just spreading it. But the people that post like gym pictures, like, oh, I didn't go to the gym unless I posted on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. It's the school system though of being like, it was either you did it right or you did it wrong.
Right.
There was no in between. And I feel like we got so afraid to fail. Dude, I was so afraid to come home to my mom the first time I got a B. And my mom was like, it's okay.
It's a B.
Like you're still on a roll. That's what matters.
Right.
Like I want you to be on a roll. Like that's the big thing. Like yes, it's nicer for you to have straight A's. Everybody wants straight A's, but you're on a roll.
Yeah, it's just the whole. I don't know. A lot of the stuff was instilled in us as kids and kind of just growing up. But you can't be afraid to fail. And even if you do fail, you're not a failure. You failed. Okay, keep fucking going. It's like,
hey, guess what? You're gonna fail 20 more times.
Literally,
you're still not a failure.
Ask any successful person. Ask any successful person in your immediate network. Anybody listening right now. Ask any successful person in your immediate network. Ask them how many times they failed. And I promise you, they're going to say, okay, I failed here, 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 and here, and look where they are now.
Some of them might look and go, how much time you got? Because I can go all night. Buddy.
Literally.
I like people, we have failed 100 fucking million times in our life already, and we're 24 years old, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I told somebody the other day I was 25, and then I was like, wait a
second. Let me count.
Like literally like 10 minutes later, I was like, am I 20? No, I'm 24.
Yeah.
I don't keep track anymore because I'm like, it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, after 21, really, it was just kind of like, it doesn't matter.
It's like the 21st birthday. Well, dude, I couldn't even like, no, I won't say it all in the pod. I couldn't even like party on my 21st, but it was
I couldn't on mine either.
Bullshit.
Yeah, mine was in the middle of camp.
Oh yeah, that's actually brutal.
And like literally practice, like dead practice 8 a.m. and the next day, and it's like it's not even worth it. Like it's really not even worth it.
Yeah, mine was a different situation, but still just couldn't.
Yeah,
like 21st birthday is supposed to be that celebration, but after that, yeah, really, you're just like, shit, I'm just getting old.
You want to know what my 21st birthday present was? Really?
What was it?
I bought my mom a beer.
Hey, that's tough, though. That's dope.
I bought her a Little King. You know what a Little King is?
No, I do not.
You ever seen a beer that's like this big and it's in a little green bottle?
I don't think I have.
Dude, my mom loves those things. She can plow those things. But you know my mom can drink as it is, but yeah, she can drink those.
That's the Nixon blood right there, though. It's just...
My boss has always said, he's like, your family, the way you guys can drink and you guys are all happy. Like, you guys will all be drunk and just be like, how you doing?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an angry drunk Cole,
It happens.
I mean,
it's like dark liquor, which that's not that dark. Yeah. I can see through it.
Yeah, I can see through it.
But which you want to get into that now? And then I got we got some more stuff that I'm going to go into.
Yeah, we can do that.
What's up, everybody? I wanted to interrupt this drinking episode for a second and talk to you guys about Desert Fox Golf. Desert Fox has some awesome drink aid tumblers. They're 17-ounce tumblers with a nice screw-on lid that hold your favorite drink. There are many designs, such as the classic Swing Aid, Fishing Aid, Nurse Aid. My personal favorite is Patriot Aid. There are many more than that. Those are just some of the many options that they have, and I think they even have those customizable options available. I know you guys might be thinking, yeah, he's just promoting them on a podcast, but doesn't even use them. Try again, because I have not one, not two, but 3 of these drink aid tumblers and use them daily. I'm using one right now as we were recording, Hold My Beer. I use it for my water during my workouts, just drinking something around the house. And of course, I use the Patriot Aid tumbler to hold my drink of choice for these episodes. Go check out these things at desertfoxgolfproducts.com. And if you decide to get one or 2, then use the promo code Roughnecks for 10% off your order. But let's get back to drinking. We'll go into the drink review. It's been going for about an hour.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know. I'll introduce it first before I get it out. Or do you want me to get it out and then introduce it? I'll introduce it. So, tonight, I have brought the drink. For the people who don't know, this is the part in the episode where we do we just kind of throw it in whenever we feel like it, but the Roughnecks drink review. Last week, we tried the High Noon tequila seltzers.
Yes, sir.
Strawberry. You rated it
8.7.
8.7. I did just a 7 out of 10. And we're going to keep track of these.
I think we might have to like adjust them later. Adjust some.
Yeah.
Like maybe I take a drink of this and I'm like, oh shit, this is.
And maybe like you're like, that's a 8.7A and this is an 8.7.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe once we get down the line, we'll it's an 8 out of 7. I know I gave this a 7 out of 10, but I ranked this above this kind of thing. Or you know what I mean? I said that backwards.
It makes sense.
Yeah. But today I'm doing. Fuck, I meant to look up the actual name of it. I'll look it up in a minute. But it's a mule, not a Moscow mule.
No, what is that? Is that?
This is Rebel. I'll get it in a second and talk about it. But we're doing a mule with bourbon. Or
is that an Irish mule? Or is that with Irish whiskey?
That might be with Irish. I'll look it up. Or you want to look it up real quick?
Yeah.
I'll grab the stuff. But yeah, we're doing mules. Yeah. So we're doing. Dante looked it up. They're called Kentucky mules. We did ginger beer. Obviously filled the rim with ice. Ginger beer. Rebel Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Ooh. With lime. And I dunked my lime in. So Dante's going to give her a try. The ginger's a little spicier. And honestly, I didn't try it. So I'm still new at making these. But mine 2 today that I've made have been fairly good.
All right, here we go. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's a Kentucky mule right there. Damn, this ginger is kind of spicy.
It gets, I don't know if it's like the longer it sits, it kind of settles and tastes a little better. Because like this one that I'm drinking now, like when I first tasted it, I was like, damn, it's spicy. But then like now when I'm drinking it,
the ice probably calms it down.
That's probably what it is. But you even got the copper mug. I got you the copper mug and all.
Yeah, no, that's official right there. Holy shit. Let me think about this rating real quick. Ooh.
It's the spice that throws it off.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. I would say Kentucky Mule. I'm giving the Kentucky Mule.
Well, hold on. I think you rated first last time.
Okay, yep. Let's
so
you go first.
Since I brought it, I'll rate it. Ooh. I'm only going to rate it a little bit above the tequila seltzer. And the reason I'm thinking about this is because I could drink this more often than I could drink the tequila seltzer, I think.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, like, just me personally with my drinking habits. I don't know if that's the right word, but the things I like to drink, or maybe that's the better way to put it. The things I like to drink, I could drink this more often. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5. So I'm not going much above the tequila seltzer because I put them similar and like I like them both about the same, but I could drink this more often.
Yeah, for this I'm gonna go. So I did 8.7 on the tequila seltzer strawberry flavor. Let me take one more sip. Oh, that sip went down so smooth.
It gets better.
Holy shit! All right, I'm putting this one at a. Oh my goodness. I'll go 8.9 for the Kentucky Mule. Yeah, I gotta. I mean, mules are my shit, but I've never had a Kentucky
So do
Mule
you
before.
like? You've had the other ones. I've never actually had another type of mule.
My favorite mule is an Irish mule. So it's Irish whiskey, which I don't know the fucking difference between Kentucky and Irish whiskey.
Dude, we don't even.
But...
We were talking when I was making it. Like I don't even know what good whiskey is.
Right.
We just always drank whatever the hell we had.
Whatever falls into our lap, we're fucking drinking it, buddy.
Or what's the cheapest?
Yeah, literally.
So like I don't know. Like I'll definitely have to try like a vodka mule or whatever. That's probably a Moscow mule.
Yep.
And I've heard you said tequila too, don't they?
Yeah, there's a tequila mule too. I don't know what they're called though. Unless it's just tequila
Somebody's
mule.
listening just roasting us.
Literally,
like you guys are
what
fucking
the fuck
idiots.
do you mean?
You guys don't know what this type of mule is?
But no, yeah, I'll put this a little above the tequila seltzers just because the high noon tequila seltzers kind of the other flavors taste like fucking ass.
That's fair.
Like, dude, the passion fruit low-key tastes like armpits, and I've never tasted an armpit, but it just like
That's what I was about to ask.
you can taste something how it smells, or
you smell it and like you just imagine like for some reason you just like I know what that would.
It kind of fucking tastes like armpits, dude. I don't know.
All right, so you got the 8.9. I got a 7.5. And we'll see what comes of it.
Honestly, what's kind of fucked up is like I'm rating everything so high to where it's really gonna skew the numbers once we
8.95.
Right, like once we start getting into this, like this is only our second.
We'll be able to adjust things,
right?
And what we might do later too is maybe not our rating necessarily, just like I put this here on the top. Top
and then
5.
We'll just have like a top 15, top 10 drinks. Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool content, bro. That'll be super cool content.
But, kind of what I wanted to go back into while we're drinking our mules or whatever the hell we're gonna drink, is, you can't be afraid to take the chance with your goals. Kind of going off of what we talked about, like setting them higher, because taking chances, like you and Jake are taking a chance of starting Sweaty.
Right.
I took a chance of starting the Roughnecks. I'm taking a chance with this. I could lose money on this volleyball tournament where I do everything wrong or teams don't sign up.
Right.
Like things could happen like that band where if my deposit that I put on them and then all of a sudden, if you don't cancel within outside of 21 days prior, it's non-refundable, which I think is fair because they're like, they put in their email, like, if we have that time slot set for you. So we're not trying to fill it where if you cancel it, we don't have enough time to try and fill it and still make money. Like, I get it. It makes sense, especially in that type of industry. So like you take chances, but you have to be willing to take chances knowing it could fail. But you have to do everything. You have to be disciplined and all that kind of stuff to push through and get it done.
You know, with taking chances, how I look at that is more or less, okay, just bear with me here. Imagine you 20 years from now and you look back on your life and you're like, hey, I wish I would have done this. That is one thing that I do not want to, like, okay, there's going to be some things where I wish I would have done this, wish I would have done that. But I I do not want to look back. If I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to look back and like, damn, I could have made my life a lot different if I would have done that. Why not take the chances when you have the opportunity to? And then if you fail, okay, you fail, you keep fucking going. But why hone in on the safe route when you only get one life?
Mm-hmm. Have you listened? It's not a big deal if you haven't. Not like trying to put you on the spot here or anything, but have you listened to Nick Lavery's episode yet?
No, not the full thing.
Listen to it because we talk, or I'm probably going to give you his book too. Listen to it, read his book because the things he talks about in there, like, that's kind of the thing. Like he was like, he realized, especially a lot after the fact, that, you lose your leg and he thought he was dead.
Right.
He thought he was dying. And it's like, because I brought up the whole thing, I wish, or like, I don't want to be sitting on my deathbed saying I wish, or,
Right.
And he goes, I wish are two very powerful words because we have that internal thought of I wish or what if and that kind of stuff, or, and a lot of people say, man, like, I don't care. I look at it too, like, how many older people do you say, man, like, man, I wish I'd have worked out more, took better care of my health? It's not too late.
Never too late.
Like, I told my dad. My dad said, man, yeah, I wish I'd have, took care of my body a little more. I'm like, Dad, you still can't. You're not dead. Like,
Arnold's still working out.
Yeah, like you, it's never too late to start. A lot of time, I mean, yes, there are circumstances of certain things in certain ways that it might be too late. Like, this is not a 100% thing, but you can, especially with fitness, you can start walking. You can start freaking you just doing the tiniest things that will help your health, or cutting out cigarettes.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I'm just talking about my dad here. God love you, Dad. But just like little things that you can do that can help just improve. Then you maybe not. You won't be saying. You might still be saying, "Man, I wish I'd have started this earlier." But you're going, "I'm glad I did start it when I did."
Right.
Like I didn't just completely give up on the fact.
No, yeah, because I don't. It's never really too late to start anything in your life. Like there's a timeline on some things.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like having kids. There's a timeline on that and all that. But
I will say this. I will say though, but there is also another route.
Right.
It may not be the ideal route. Like, maybe you're old enough to where you can't have kids anymore. Like, you and your spouse, like, it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
There is adoption.
Yeah, there is. And there's a lot of kids that need that love in their life, dude, But, it's like, yeah. At the end of the day, it's never too late to do anything in your life. There's always an exterior route that you can take, and you just never say never it's super cliche, but never say never, because you will be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life, as long as you really put your mind to it. And if you do have to take the ulterior route, if you gotta do the little workaround, who fucking cares? You're achieving what you want to achieve.
You can literally, it's cliche as well, you can do anything you put your mind to.
100%.
But that is what it takes, is you have to put your mind to it. Like, you have to be driven to do it. Like, I struggle with the podcast personally sometimes, where, like we talked, like, I need to be better about social media. The reason I'm not is because I'm not mentally telling myself, like, dude, you have to do this. You have to get this done. One of the things, like, I've slowly gotten better at it, like with editing, because like there's times where I was like, I really should edit tonight. You know what? I'll wake up at like 4 a.m. tomorrow and edit. Never happened.
Right.
A couple times it did happen, I will be honest, but like most of the time it never happened. But now I'm like, you know what? It's Sunday night. Go sit down at your desk, get it done, because the episode has to, like, you have to get it out in the morning, because you're not only letting yourself down, you're letting your listeners down too. Like, I don't have a ton of people, I don't feel like, that listen to episodes every single time they come out, but I know there are a handful at least that listen. As soon as those episodes come out on Monday, they listen to them. So I don't care if it's one person or two people. Like, you're letting not just yourself down, you're letting other people down.
I mean, and at the end of the day, this Roughnecks as a whole is not just a podcast, it's a lifestyle. We want to influence people not only to be better in life, but to be just if we can say one sentence in this whole entire podcast that influences someone to do something better in their life, then goal is made.
Dude, I don't even care if it's like, man, mules are the next thing that I am drinking.
Right.
I mean, that may not be the best example, but like, you know what I mean?
Shit.
Like, it's one of those things, like, that's the whole thing that I've always said is like, I don't care if I have 100 listeners or one. If it helps one person, that's all I care about. No matter what the topic is, and that's the thing is like, the thing that may help somebody, it may be the thing that I'm like, that's dumb, whatever. But it may be like the thing that pushes them over the edge and they just understand, like they pick up on something.
And just the opportunity of being able to have our voices, or I mean your voice especially, because I'm only on these HMB episodes, but your voice especially, being able to project that out to anybody who just stumbles upon the podcast, bro. Like, it's your voice and you get to change people's lives, even if that's not your goal. You get to influence what they are hearing in their day-to-day life every time you touch the mic, every time you release an episode, and that's a beautiful thing.
The one thing I will say, and I credit you to this and a lot of other, like everybody else that I've had on the podcast, the reason that maybe I'm able to do that, in large part, I will say, is because of my guests, because of the amount that I've learned through every single guest. I don't care who it is, my family, my best friends, you, Scott, like Nick Lavery, these big time guests, whoever it is, every guest, I have picked something up from them, just a little nugget where I'm like, I like that.
Right.
And like the whole Motivation Monday thing, part of that, like the whole saying is like, this leads us into the best segment of the podcast, which is Motivation Monday. Motivation Monday is the point in the episode where I allow a guest that's give the Roughnecks listeners a little inspirational bump to set the tone for their week as they listen on Monday morning. The whole set the tone part, that part right there, that's from Corey Hare when he was on, because he talked about setting the tone because it's Monday. Set the tone for your week. And I was like, I like that. Like, just like, that's the little example. Like, just little things from every episode have influenced me being able to even talk about this kind of stuff anymore. And I'm not saying I'm the best at actually doing it, but it's something that we strive for. Like me and you and every guest that I think I've had on, like, we strive to be the best we can do. Yes, we slip up, we make some mistakes, we fail at some things, but we still strive to be the best we can be.
Yeah, there's no other option for me, at least. There's literally no other option. I'm a perfectionist. I'm not perfect all the time, but I strive to be perfect, and I have big goals. If we're going back to the goals thing, is like, we have things that we want to achieve. We have things that we want to accomplish in our life, and I know you're this way as well. Is just, we're not going to stop until we achieve those goals. We don't give a fuck what gets in our way. There could be Hurricane Katrina in our way, and we're running through Hurricane Katrina.
But if we have another one of those hurricanes like that,
yeah, no, that was a bad example, because like, R.I.P. to all the people who.
But no, really, look at that though. Look at like how that happened. Like, it tore New Orleans apart. But then what happened in New Orleans? They rebuilt, right back. That's a whole prime example of grab the bull by the horns. Right. You're going to get knocked down in life. It is inevitable. Like, it is going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it sometimes. Sometimes we're the reason that we get thrown on our ass. But other times, it's just life. Things just don't work out. It's other people that just, things didn't work out the way they should have, or you wanted them to. But you have two choices in life. You can stay there, or you can get the fuck back up. And that's the hardest. Sometimes it's hard to get back up.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, there's been times where you're like, I'm done, man. Like, I don't want to get back up. This sucks. Like, what's it matter anymore? but it's once you get back up, you're like, why did I lay down that long? Why did I stay down that long?
I mean, dude, literally what you just said is like fitness journey. Like we talked about this a lot, talked about this a lot last Hold My Beer episode, but like fitness after being a college athlete, like it came to a point where, hey, what the hell am I working out for? I'm not trying to be Mr. Olympia. I'm not training to be stronger than the guy I'm going up against. I'm doing this for myself. And that's, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of your goals, a lot of what you're doing on a day to day, you need to do that for yourself, because if you're doing that for someone else, it's not going to feel as good once you achieve it, because you got to do it for yourself.
I had somebody tell me one time a very good way to look at why to stay in shape at a young age, especially like, because a lot of people, that's where they fall off, like after high school, or that after athletics, like the working out and fitness journey kind of ends for them sometimes. But this guy told me, he goes, the reason I still work out today is I look at, or like, stay in shape, I look at, do I want to be able to throw the football with my kids?
Yeah.
To run around in the yard with my kids. And like, obviously, you're not going to be able to keep up at that point. Like,
right.
That's going to happen. You're not exactly going to be able to keep up, but to be able to even do it, dude. I have memories of me, my brother, my mom, my dad, and I think even one of my sisters. At least one of my sisters was there, running the cross country course at Watkins.
Yeah, that's
my dad ran the whole thing. I was the first one to finish because I was the youngest and had just too much energy. My brother was behind me, and then, which I may have took shortcuts compared to my brother. And then my dad and like my mom and my sister, I think, walked. So like that was like what their whole. But like my dad ran it, like, and I was like, but I remember that, and it's like being able to, or like my dad being out in the yard. I remember throwing the baseball with my dad out in the yard, like just that little stuff of, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you gonna feel if your kid's out in the yard like, Dad, come throw the football with me?
Right.
It's gonna be like, damn. I remember doing that with my dad. Like, I want to be able to do that with my kids.
Literally, 100%.
And like, that's not the only reason to do it. But like you said, that's the big thing. You have to want to do it for yourself first.
Right.
It's good to have maybe some outside factors sometimes of like, or like some goals in a way to.
Like outside motivation.
Motivation. That's what some motivation to push you. But also, I don't know if you've ever heard it. Motivation is just a feeling.
Yeah.
Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes. How many times, it's real easy that first day of lifting to get up because you're excited. You want to get back into it. It's real hard the 100th day of lifting sometimes.
Yeah.
The 4th day of lifting because you're tired. But that's why discipline will outweigh motivation every single time, because if you're disciplined, you just get up and do what you have to do.
Or just think about your day-to-day job. That first day on the job, you're like, holy shit, I'm starting a new job. Let's fucking get it. Day 364 of that job, you're like, oh, man.
I hate this place.
Yeah. But what do? You're disciplined. You get up and you go do it. You might not want to do it, but you go do it.
But then, like, so a lot of times you're even glad you did it. Like, there's been days where I'm driving into work where I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Why am I working a manual labor job still?
Right.
But then, which I won't get into too much of that, but like, I look at the fact of where it could lead. And it doesn't happen overnight. Things do not change overnight. It takes time. It takes patience. And the big thing with patience, the patience doesn't mean just sitting back and waiting for it to come to you. Patience means you still have to work, put in the work, and just give it time, and it will come.
Yes, sir. That's all it's about.
Coach Sev talked a lot about that on his episode, because I want to say it was because of the fact that, like, one of the things that he dealt with athletes were, why am I not playing? Why am I not playing? Take time, or keep working. Your time will come. That was what he kept saying.
I remember he told me that, and that's why I was still on the team the whole entire time, and I waited my turn. I love Coach Sev, man. He's He's one of the greatest coaches I've ever had, to be honest.
Just the amount of life lessons that we learned from Sev that we didn't realize were life lessons.
Right. Until you get older and you're like, damn, like he was spitting facts to us.
Yes, he was. Gotta love Coach Sev.
These fucking Kentucky mules, y'all.
You like those?
Yeah, they're fucking hitting. Out of the copper mug? Is that what you called it? Copper? That's what it is?
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually a copper mug, but like it's bronze colored. That's not copper.
Sounds like copper to me.
Where's my penny? Where's my penny? March Madness Challenge. I want to talk about that, which I want to tell my guest about for a second. My listeners who won. I'm sorry that you might not have got your prize yet, but I absolutely promise that they are on the way. I'm working on that. I'm working on getting addresses first off, because the 3 people that won are people that I do not know. So like I actually have to do some research. I was expecting my friends to be a little bit better.
Yeah, I tried.
My girlfriend got last. So
I tried.
What we had 27 people in this year. I think that's the most we've ever had, which it's not a ton. It's not as much as I'd like it to be, but you know what? The fact is I've done this 3 years in a row now, and this is the biggest group that I've had. So it's grown each year.
Progress
is what matters.
And the thing is, dude, with that shit, it's like, you know how on like the ESPN app you can like have the app pick your teams for you and all that shit?
Yeah, I feel like some people do that.
Yeah, I like for the challenges that I was in, I wanted to be the one who picked all the games, and it just fucked me, man. Like Alabama, what the fuck?
I feel like if that's who I had winning it.
Yeah, so, like come on.
I didn't have any of the Final Four teams right, but I don't know how many people fucking did either. Like,
right, it was weird. It's a weird Final Four.
That's the thing is like, what I kicked myself, dude. I said, I watched Selection Sunday, and I was watching it, and I was like, that UConn team can make a fucking run. I only had them winning like 2 games because I second guessed myself. But like, see, you can ask Sierra. Like, I said it so many times where I was like, that UConn team, like that's a dangerous team,
damn near unstoppable.
And then they fucking go on to win it. And I'm like, I should have just trusted my fucking gut. Like I said it as soon as they announced it. Like, and I didn't trust myself. I had UCLA, Indiana, Alabama, and Tennessee in the Final Four, and all of those teams let me down. But this year was a crazy year with another 16 beating a 1 seed. What's crazy to think is like in our lifetime, like I'm a big March Madness person because my mom's a big March Madness. Like she used to actually take us out of school on Friday.
Oh shit, that's
early to go. Like she as long as we didn't have a sporting confliction, she'd take us out of school. And the one time she took my brother out of school, they were like, well, what's it for? And she's like, she wrote on there, bonding. She's like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I'm taking him out. Yeah. It's something I think her parents did. Like, it's just always been a thing. It's like a family thing. I'll do it to my kids one day. Sorry, Sierra, you don't have a choice. She likes March Madness just as much as I do. So, but just being able to watch it. This year's the first year I think my mom's not taking even off work. Like, she always took work off. My parents used to go rent a hotel room away from all of us kids just to be able to go watch. My mom's like, I just want to be able to watch the games.
That's dope, though.
So, but I'm big on March Madness, but it's this year in both of our lifetimes. Jesus, you know what I mean. Both of our me and you lifetimes, we've witnessed the only 16 beating a 1, like with UMBC, and who the hell was
FAU was 9.
Who was the Ford? It started with an F that beat Purdue.
Oh, it's like Frederick Dickerson.
Yeah,
Dickerson.
FDU. Yeah. It was wild ride. But yeah. Would you end up placing? I think you placed higher than I did.
Like 5th.
Yeah, you did higher than me, so.
Yeah, I had a work league too that I was like battling for fucking first the whole time. I had UCLA winning, and then they dropped off, and I was like, well, I lose this too.
Yeah, once I lost a couple like Final Four teams, I was like, I really don't care about this tournament anymore.
It's so hard to get a perfect bracket. It's just impossible.
Well, this year I don't even think anybody was remotely close.
Oh no way. There's no way.
There was, I mean, a couple years ago, I think there was a bracket that lasted till like
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16, and then like one game. And I think they got like a 90% on their bracket, which is amazing to be able to do.
Yeah, I think I had a 99 on one of mine, but it wasn't any bracket that I put. 99.8. I just didn't put it. I didn't put it into. Look at the score, bro. I almost had it like what the winner.
No shit.
But I did not put it in any type of league.
Huh.
Or any type of group.
That's crazy. Yeah, dude. I used to make 2 brackets and do the like one, like all like crazy upsets.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes those do better than your like actual guesses.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. This team maybe.
You can't guess that shit.
It's March. That's why they call it March Madness, because it's crazy. Like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Along with March Madness, the women's basketball tournament. So we're diving into the women's tournament.
That was wild.
There's some good basketball,
dude. Well, going off of Angel Reese, I believe.
Is it Angel or Angela? I've heard it both ways, and I don't know. I think we might have to look it up real quick so we don't misspeak. How do you pronounce?
Angel.
It is Angel? I know it's spelled Angel, but does she go by Angela?
Yep.
Because I swear on some content that I've been seeing recently, it's like okay, Angel Reese.
So it is Angel Reese. We got it right.
All right, bet.
She the most double doubles in the NCAA women's history with like 30 something. Caitlin Clark hitting 40 points in back-to-back games in the tournament.
She's a sophomore too, or
sophomore, June. I don't know. She has to come back one more year. She's not eligible,
right?
I don't know what it is.
Is it the same for women? Because junior year is when you can go, I believe, or is that just for football?
I think that's just for football, because in basketball, I thought you could be a one and done, but that was in men's basketball. Because remember, that was the whole saying, like one and done.
Yeah, one and done.
So I don't.
But yeah, she's a dog. Dude, at the end of the day.
Either way, I don't care what grade you are, to be able to drop 40 points in back to back, and not only it was Sweet 16 it was Elite 8 and Final 4 game. In a Final 4 game, to drop 40 points, that's different. Insane.
You're built different.
But also to get a double 30 some times in a year, her record was in a year double doubles. But no, that doesn't make sense, because they went 21 and 20 and something. Maybe it was
maybe career then.
Either way,
it might be a school. It might be a school record or something, or I don't know. Yeah,
dude,
I didn't follow it too closely, but there's a lot of controversy on the whole celebration and stuff. So what do you personally think about that?
So here's what I view it as is, I also look at Caitlin Clark asked for it, not asked for it as in like do it back, but like you did your showboating. The only difference I'll say with because what happened was the Angel Reese waved her hand in front of her face, like you can't see me, or I don't know what the exact.
It's like the John Cena shit.
Yeah, but Caitlin Clark did that the game before. But see, these are also the things that I've heard, and I don't know if I'm 100% true on all these facts. They're not necessarily facts. They're just things that I've heard or read. What I read was Caitlin Clark did it, but it was the game before, and she did it to the bench. Now, obviously, it's a national championship. I don't regret, I don't have any necessarily ill will towards, I don't know, like, I understand why Angel Reese did what she did. It's because I think I feel like Caitlin Clark's probably cocky.
I mean, if you're dropping 40 points, like,
You have two stud players going
right.
against each other. There's gonna be high emotions in
Mhm.
that. People are gonna talk. There's gonna be things said, and that's the thing is like nobody knew what we said in football.
Oh, dude, you wouldn't want to know what
There
the
was
hell we
times in
said.
basketball, you're not gonna know the things I just said to him.
Right.
Like I'm whispering in his ear. He heard me. He doesn't. Nobody else knows that I said something to him. But like I said something. Dude, I've been guarding people as I'm running beside them. I'm like, you're a little bitch. Like I'll say stupid stuff like that. Like you're not always gonna hear that. There may have been other things that we don't know about
Right.
and may never know about. But I don't think what she did was wrong. Do I think she should have done it? No. But I don't think what she did was wrong.
Right, and then that kind of relates back to like act like you've been there before. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's just like I'm not saying what she did was wrong by any means, and I'm not saying it was it's kind of blown
What
out of
I didn't.
proportion a little
Yeah, I'll let
bit.
you finish, and then I'll tell you.
But also, like at the end of the day, you're an example for a whole generation of women who are playing basketball. And do you want that to be your legacy of you showboating after winning? Which, I mean, again, I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm not saying it was right. It might have been warranted, but I don't know. I mean, I've personally just never been a big showboater. I talk a lot of shit on Xbox. I know, I definitely talk a lot of shit on Xbox, but other than that, I've never really been a big like showboater.
I am the most basic person that you will ever see on a football field. What did I ever wear that was fancy?
You never really had any like football drip either.
No.
Like you might have wore a sleeve. Maybe when you broke your elbow.
My mom, when I wore my sleeve to the first basketball game, and she goes, "What the fuck is on your elbow?" I said, "Mom, I fell a couple times in practice, and it hurt my elbow, so I got one of those ones with the pads." She's like, "It's on your left fucking elbow. You're right fucking handed."
Yeah, no, you weren't a big field trip type of guy.
No, like one of the buddies I played with, Ryan Rubel, he always give me shit because I post pictures on game day or whatever, and he'd always comment on it and say no drip and stuff like that. And I'm just be like, I've never been the person that like I just never got to fancy things.
Like I had some field trip, but there were some people on our team, even in high school or college, I really started to see the drip come out.
My
bro.
favorite was the people that didn't play a fucking down of anything. They weren't even on special teams. And they're like, "Hey man, can I wear your towel?" And I'm like, "I'm playing." Right. No, you can't wear my towel. I actually need this. No offense.
Or those kids who wore like sweatshirts under their shoulder pads on the sideline.
Dude, I wanted to do that my freshman year so bad though. We played at Hiram and it was snowing. And I was like,
y'all have the heaters on the side?
We didn't have the heaters because it's Hiram.
Yeah,
but we had the big jackets.
Oh yeah.
And I was good friends with the starting safety, and his rule was, I'll wear it, or like when I'm on the sideline, I'm wearing it, but like when I'm on the field, like I'll wear it. And Hiram, we were scoring so quick that our defense was on the field most of the time, not like giving up a bunch, just like we were just on the field more. So I got to wear it, and then like even the time like special teams most of the time would happen, and I was on all the special teams, so I'd just be like, "Hey, here you go," and run on the field.
Dude, that was like just banking off of that. That was like my real or true look into holy shit. Like I'm playing college football. Yeah. Like when they had those coats for you on the sideline. Like as soon as you walk off the field.
Didn't we break them out once in high school?
Oh shit, did we?
Was it the playoff game?
Oh, it might have been.
No, it was Lakewood.
Our senior year or junior?
Senior?
I don't remember senior year. Junior year? Yeah, we might have, but sophomore. Oh, it would have been sophomore when we made the playoffs.
Yeah, we lost.
Yeah, to Lakewood. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like maybe we didn't.
I was talking to Jake about this the other day too, dude. When we had the fucking police escort on the way home from a fucking L.
Dante, or not Dante, fucking Noah Niffin's like, turn up the radio. Turn up the radio. The Watkins Warriors are heading to the playoffs after losing to Lakewood.
Yeah.
Sweet.
No, yeah, but we might have brought him out. I mean, I wouldn't have fucking touched one because I wasn't playing, so I was just straight special teams. But I remember dude, I destroyed a Lakewood locker after that game, and I wasn't even playing. But that's what really started to. That was my passion, bro. I don't know.
Dude,
I forget what coach came up to me, bro, and after
I knew I never, I never wanted to feel that way again. Did multiple times.
yeah.
There's 2 other instances that I can vividly remember feeling just as hurt after that game. Like the Lakewood one hurt probably the most of all of them. Well, no, Lakewood was probably second. The first was losing the Whetstone.
Our senior year? Yeah, fucking
Dude.
9-6.
That
was fucking
and I'll never
stupid,
forget
bro.
fucking like Cook hugging me, Mead hugging me, like I couldn't calm down. Like I was freaking the fuck out. Because I remember I think telling Cook like we've worked so fucking because like me and you put in the fucking work, Kyle Clark, fucking Scott, Terry, like we all put in all that fucking work and it just felt like everything just was like fuck you.
First game of the season.
And then the second game I break my fucking elbow and I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get back into the Angel Reese stuff because I got something off that, but I wanted to say something too that I meant to say earlier of your senior year was your breakout year.
Yeah, it's
my senior year was like supposed to be also my breakout year. What I love though, and it's one of those things that people struggle with. I was not jealous one bit of you fucking having a hell of a year. Even when I came back, I didn't want any of like a bunch of the attention. I wanted you to do your fucking thing because obviously, yeah, I was still trying to go play college football, so I was trying to get some more film out there.
Right.
But it was one of those like a lot of people I think get jealous, get caught up in that jealousy of like, oh, they're doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Things don't work out in the way that you always want them to. So don't take away from other people's flame just because yours isn't lit.
I mean, dude, at the end of the day, that's what you prepared me for. Like all that lifting, all that time being on my ass of like, hey, you're hitting this, you don't need a spot, like shut the fuck up, all that shit. Like, dude, you wanted me to be the leader on the defense if you couldn't be, and that's exactly what I did. You know, it's not like you were. I mean,
but that's the thing.
If we
like,
weren't
I
best
trusted
friends,
you. Like we trusted. I think that was partially us building that trust with each other.
right?
Like I knew you're a strong safety, so you're on my side. But like I knew I could trust you on my side. Like I could trust. That was one of the big things in college. Like I always loved, and practiced when I'd be with certain safeties because like I know I can trust you to do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in college, it was literally split field a lot of times, like where you have this side of the field, I have this side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
If things happen, like we have to trade off. Like I know I can trust you. I know Chitty, shout out Chitty if he's listening. Like he was one of those people in college that like when he was the other safety, I knew I could trust him to where we'd communicate, and if we didn't, we'd literally be talking like, "What do we got to do?" Like we'd figure it the fuck out. That was me and you. Like we didn't even have to look at each other.
No, we never really did.
Like unless something fucking crazy came out, like Walnut Ridge running 4-1 on one side.
Like, what? Cole, what the fuck do I do here, buddy?
Dante, I don't know. Let's go ask Mead or let's go ask Warrington. But like, it's having that trust. It helps build, and you don't have to be best friends with that person to not get jealous of them. You don't have to put out somebody else's flame just because yours isn't lit.
I think that's what helped us a lot, though, is just us being, dude, we just got so close throughout high school that it came to a point where, hey, if I wasn't, like, dude, even when I was, like, sitting the bench varsity-wise, like, sophomore and junior year.
I'll never forget sophomore year when they told me I was going in, like, you and Scott, or I don't remember who all was around me, but I'm pretty sure you guys were like, holy shit, you get to go in. I was like,
let's go.
I get to go in. Oh, like, I think you guys were more excited than I was because I was about to shit my pants.
Yeah.
But
No, and that's what it's all about. Like, yeah, of course, like, I wish I would have been playing, but, like, you know, at the end of the day, dude, and I was actually telling my mom this the other day, or I think it was, like, yesterday. like I enjoyed high school football more than I did college football, and I think it's mostly because like I grew up with those guys. Like we all grew up together and we really watched each other grow.
Yeah.
But it was just not saying that I didn't have a bond to college football because I love all my teammates. Like that was it was a great ass time, bro. But high school football is just you never get that back.
No. They always say like high school football you will never forget. Now I feel like maybe if like we went to like Ohio State or Alabama, like obviously that'd be a little bit different.
Right.
But obviously we probably would have played at a better high school that probably would have won a state championship or something too. But it high school football, the bond you have in high school with those people is crazy. But what's also, you know what I think crazier is how quickly a lot of those bonds disappear.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I don't talk to from high school that I haven't talked to in years.
Terry Lowry texted me the other day, and I don't think I've talked to him since his wedding. Well, no, I take that back because he got married and then went to Ohio Wesleyan for a semester, I think, and then left. I don't blame him. He was just starting his life, essentially. He was a little
Right.
further than a lot
He's
of
a
us.
nurse now.
Yeah. Like he was doing that. And so like he texted me and I was just like, holy shit. Like, man, I'm not that I forgot about Terry, but like you start to forget about people that
Yeah.
you used to like see every day and talk to every day.
Yeah, dude, I literally saw Terry last Sunday. We have like there's just like a football group chat where we all go play 2 and touch football. We had the Bunny Bowl and I saw Terry for the first time in fucking ages, dude. And it's just the cool thing about it when you have really good friends like that and you see them for the first time in a while, it's like you never skipped a beat. It's like, dude, how are you doing?
You do the whole
What's up?
catch up thing, but then like you do like what we do right now, like where you just talk about like high school memory, like random stuff,
Right.
or like, dude, you remember that fucking time that you did this? And you're like, yeah, let's not talk
Right,
about
right.
that. But like all these things that it's really like me and Logan. When I haven't talked to Logan Morrison since high school, probably, and he came over here, we recorded an episode. Dude, it was like he was like, man, what have you been up to? And then like, boom,
Yeah.
it's like right back to how we've always been.
Yeah, because I mean, you and I don't like hang out a lot. We talk a lot about the podcast and stuff, but even I mean, it doesn't matter to the point where hey, as soon as I come over here, it's literally like, dude, what the fuck's up?
Yep.
You know,
like you're one of those people. I know you said today, like you got here and you didn't want to just walk in, but it's like, yeah, like if you just walked into my house and I came downstairs, I'd be like, oh, what's up, buddy?
yeah, what's
Like
up?
I
What's
wouldn't be like,
poppin'?
why the fuck did you just walk in my? No, if it was Alex, I'd give you so much shit.
I'm just not a big walking in type of person. I
I
don't
get
know.
it. I always like my fuck other than my parents' house and my siblings, but like I'll go to like my cousin's house or something. They're like, you know, you can just walk in. I'm like, I feel weird.
Yeah,
Like
it
I just
just feels
doesn't. I feel like I'm
super
gonna
weird.
walk in and just you guys are gonna look at me and be like, hi, and I'm like, oh,
What are you doing here?
Going back to Angel Reese, there's one thing that she did do that I really did not like, though. The pointing at the finger before the game was over. Yes, the game was won. I didn't like that part of the showboating. Doing the face thing, that's kind of a right back at you type thing.
Right.
The pointing at the finger thing, I think that was now you're taking it. You're going. You're not. You're not acting like you've been there before.
Right.
That's the part that I didn't care for.
Yeah, it's just a sticky situation because we're all competitors. When you get in the heat of the moment, you're gonna do some things and say some things, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's just a lesson. I don't even remember who first said that to me. It was like act like you've been there before, but it's just the fact of you're a worldwide figure now. You're winning the national championship. Every movement you
And that's
make,
what she wants. Like that's what she's trying to show too. Is people say she's too hood, too ghetto. That's what she talked about. Which I don't think there's any problem with that. Be who you are. Be where
right?
you came from, or whatever you want to claim. Don't change because of the fact that you're on this stage now. I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that.
Right.
But also, that doesn't mean you play. And I don't want to say dirty because she didn't play dirty. She's not a dirty player. doesn't mean you have to showboat, I guess.
Right. Then it's all heat of the moment thing. Like I'm sure she's probably thinking about it and to like, hey, maybe I probably didn't need to do that,
Yeah.
but like it happened and they won the natty, so like congrats to them.
I
Real
mean, the
shit.
first time in school history, first time any basketball, I think, has been there in school
Damn.
history.
Damn.
At least the women's, maybe. It could be completely wrong on that, but the first time they've been to the championship in school history. Obviously, LSU's been to the championship in football and
I was about to say, yeah, Joe Shiesty.
Yes, and even I remember Ohio State losing to LSU in the championship, getting their ass kicked. But they winning a national championship. I don't care what sport it's in, individual team sport is an incredible feat to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, only select teams can do it, and only select teams make it. And
Winning
the fact,
a conference championship.
right?
I mean, you have to be the best of this many teams, but then to go to be the best of all the
A
teams.
tournament, a 64 team. Is that women's too? 64, or is it smaller?
Well, see, the men's is 64, but it's 68.
Oh, with the play-in games. Yeah.
I don't even know if those don't count in the bracket challenge. Like, do those even count?
I mean, it's just whoever the number one seed's playing damn near. That's all it is.
What's weird though is it's the number one, but then also like some of them are 12s.
Oh yeah, true.
Or something like, and maybe not 12. Maybe I don't remember what it is, but it's not on. They're not all 16 seeds. I feel like if it's going to be a play-in game, it should be all 16 seeds. Like that makes sense.
Like
to me.
the last picking, like slim pickings have to play for it.
These are the last 4 in, and then you have the last 4 out. But like, how are those the last 4 in? But you're a number 12,
right?
That doesn't make you like. I feel like if you're the last in, that should be the last 16 seeds.
Yeah, March Madness is pretty wild,
dude. Could you imagine being on that committee?
Hell no. That's
trying to figure out a 68 team bracket. Like obviously you have your however many conferences that are like this team's in because they won their conference championship. I like that rule of if you win your conference championship, you're in.
Right.
But then you also have like the rest of the 58 teams that you have to figure out.
You just gotta pick and choose, which is, I don't know. I mean, like, I guarantee you're going through some stress with just the volleyball tournament, so I cannot imagine a 68 team bracket.
Yeah. It's going to be the volleyball tournament. I'm excited for, man. I was stressed about it for a couple days. Talked to Mr. Jacob Alexander, who's been on this podcast, and a lot of the questions that I was stressed about, he answered for me. So there goes my stresses, and he answered a lot of them, calmed me down. Basically, like made me realize like this is all going to be very feasible and not that bad. Because that was a lot of things that I was stressed about. I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. But it was like, just ask and figure it out. So, but July 15th, Roughnecks volleyball tournament. Hopefully we can turn it into an annual thing and it'll only get better from here. March Madness tournament. We're in the 3rd annual one. Finish the 3rd annual one. We'll get into the 4th one next year. Sweaty. Check out the sweaty show.
Definitely check it out. It's a good time. It's just all good vibes, positivity, trying to make it a lifestyle.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep talking about it. I like it because I feel like it's a lot of the things, some of the things that we talk about here are like it's very similar to some of the things that you guys talk about, but you guys almost take it like that extra step further too.
Yeah, and it's just straight video fitness experience, and we're gonna have Cole on as our first guest here soon, so it's kind of breaking news. But yeah, you heard it here first.
That'll be fun. I've never been on another. I was kind of on a podcast, but it got deleted. So.
Oh wow, that's kind of fucked up.
Well, yeah, she she did a podcast with like 20 other podcasters. Like she did one with each of them.
Oh, okay.
And like we were on a group message on Instagram, which was really annoying. But I was new to podcasting, so I was letting it go and learning. So I say, but then all of a sudden, like one of them was like, "Has anybody heard from such and such?" And I was like, No, I haven't. And they were like, all of our episodes are gone. Every one of our episodes that like she posted was just like
Damn.
you can't find them. And I was like, how the hell did she do that? First off, usually you can still find them somewhere, but like they're gone.
Damn.
So, but yeah, I've never really been on a podcast, and I'm excited to be on a podcast, or not, I don't want to call it a podcast, on the show, whatever we want to call you guys, but be on something else that's like I'm not the guy that's like hosting it.
Right.
So
No, it'll be fun, bro. It'll be an experience. We'll get a nice workout in, hit the sauna, then hey, it's cold time.
I'll have to shut you up in that cold tub.
You probably will, dude. No, I fucking
I don't know. It's been a
cold.
while. I might struggle a little bit. I don't know. I still take cold showers.
Oh shit, yeah, you're different. I literally take hot showers, man.
Well, there's some science behind this, which we'll get into on Hold My Beer number 10. But until then, you guys know the deal. Life is hard. It's going to knock you down just like a bull does to a bull rider. Don't let that bull of life walk all over you. Get up, grab the bull by the horns, and take control of your life. Roughnecks, out. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode of the Roughnecks Podcast. If you liked today's episode, then please be sure to share it with a friend. You can follow the Roughnecks Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Roughnecks Podcast. Head over to roughneckspodcast.com and grab yourself some Roughnecks merch. Until next time, make sure you grab the bull by the horns and take control of your life. Roughnecks, out.